Coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee in my coffee with Gino cup here. My Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is my choice of a 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. It's powder form, coffee, cream and sugar. Put it in your cup, add hot water, and you have a nice cup of coffee. Nice weather we're having here in Numancia, Aklan this morning. I already had my morning walk, great walk this morning, cooler temperature still, but just a beautiful sunrise this morning. And then I already took Leanna to school. I actually just came back from taking Leanna to school. Right there, you can kind of see it, like how bright the sun is. It's like really bright this morning. Joe Cano, good morning, Joe Cano. All right, let me give you the weather report. I always kind of start with the weather report. Here in Numancia, it is 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunny, like it says here, sunny. It might turn cloudy, and then tonight it says here possibility of rain this evening. But look, right now I do not see any rain clouds. Bright and sunny this morning here in Numancia. On the Windy app, I do not see any formation of any kind of tropical depression, tropical storm, or anything for the next few days at least. The Pag-asa website. Pag-asa is the weather here in the Philippines, the government agency that tracks weather. It says here for Caraga and Davao region, cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms due to the easterlies. Easterlies are the winds coming in from the Pacific Ocean. Cagayan, Isabela, Aurora, Quezon, Camarines Norte, cloudy skies with rain. So they're getting rain up there in northern Luzon because of the northeast monsoon. It is still amihan season. So that's what's causing rain there. Metro Manila, Visayas, the rest of Luzon, the rest of Mindanao, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. But like I said, here it's sunny this morning. I was able to do my morning walk, beautiful sunrise. But it could, we could get a little bit of rain throughout the day, but it kind of like, it goes from sunny, they'll shower a little bit, then back to sunny again. So more sunshine though, more sunshine the past couple of days here in Numancia, Aklan. We actually went to the seawall the other day with our friends Gerhard and Imelda. I wanted to mention that Gerhard came here to the Philippines. Imelda's Filipina. She has a Philippine birth certificate. She's now a naturalized citizen in the United States. Been living in the United States now for over 38 years. But they made a trip here. So they were both entitled to the balikbayan privilege. If you're a foreigner, as long as you're traveling with your Filipino spouse, you are entitled to the 1-year balikbayan privilege. No fees at all. No visa required for that 1 year. The only thing is, with that, Gerhard wanted to open a bank account. Well, with the bank accounts, you need an ACR card or SRRV card or some type of identification here in the Philippines. So we tried to go to the immigration office the other day, and because I read online, he can get the ACR card on the balikbayan privilege, but you have to do it at the main office in Manila, the main immigration office in Manila. But it did put a quote in there that some satellite units across the Philippines, across the nation here, allows you to get an ACR card on the balikbayan privilege. Unfortunately, Calibo wasn't one of them. We stopped by the Calibo office and they said they only do ACR card for people on a tourist visa. So new to me. You know, that's why. Like I said, there's a lot of things I'm still learning as I go here in the Philippines, especially with tourist visa, ACR cards, and a lot of times, you know, depending on where you are here in the Philippines, the rules do not apply the same. Like if you're one province might be stricter, one province might be more lenient, might, you know, allow. So that's just the way it is here in the Philippines. I found that interesting though, but if Gerhard wanted to get an ACR card, he just has to get it at the Manila main office in Manila, the immigration office in Manila. He would have, you know, he's thinking the next trip to the Philippines. This is kind of exploratory for Gerhard and Imelda. They're trying to see if Calibo, if Aklan province would be a possibility for them. So next time when they land in Manila, they plan on staying a couple of days in Manila so he can get an ACR card in Manila to apply for it anyway. So new to me. That was kind of like, I was hoping he could get his ACR card, but he wasn't lucky enough. And then after that, after we went there, we went to the seawall because beautiful day. It's been beautiful here in Numancia, Aklan for the past couple of days. Peanut Butter Travels, hey, PBT. Hey, thank you for joining the live stream. Aloha, Derek. Aloha, brother. Derek from Hawaii. Lucita, my good friend in Maine. Good morning, Lucita. Hey, Vaughn. All right, Gino. All right, Vaughn. Michael Manalastas. Good morning, brother Gino from cold but sunny Pike Place. Downtown. Oh, you're in Seattle. Wow, you're vacation because I know you're from Northern California, but vacation in Seattle, very nice. That's where they throw the fish, man. They catch the fish at Pike Place in downtown Seattle, man. That's all right. Bon, Panay Posse grows like a beautiful wildflower. I mean, you know, it's growing, definitely growing. You know, it's like people coming here. I know Daniel's the one that created the Panay Posse, that name Panay Posse. But to me, you know, I mean, you don't have to join the group. You know, it's like, you know, it's not like, you know, we own Calibo or Panay. It's like Daniel just created the Panay Posse. I know there's many that come here that want to find a peaceful life. I know that. And one thing about me, when you get to know me, I don't put you in front of the camera. I don't interview people. I'm not into that. I respect everybody's privacy. Unless you really want to be interviewed, you know, because to me, that's not what my channel is all about. You know, it's like, I'm not about growing the channel, you know, like building the channel. That's not me, you know. It's like, for me, I just want to meet good people. And if I can help some people, I'm happy with that. You know, it's like, I'm fine with what our channel's doing. That's why I'm fine with the live stream now. I've lessened it, you know, every other day. And the videos, you know, if you see the videos, most of my videos, I just show you what's here. Try to explain to you what this place is all about. But you will never feel any pressure for me, like me putting you in a camera, interviewing you. That's not what my channel is all about. You know, if the person's willing to share their experience here, you know, that's fine. But I've met many people here that they're here, but they're very private. You know, Stevie's very private. Mel's very private. I know HD. I can tell HD's private too. They don't want to, like, because I totally understand, because sometimes the expat groups, it could, you know, it's not for everyone. I know that the expat group is not for everyone. Like the expat get-togethers, there's like a vibe. Some people enjoy it, some people don't, you know. That's why I'm careful. You know, it's like I'm careful when I meet people. If you come to Calibo, if you come to Panay Island, you're not automatically a member of the Panay Posse. Don't think like you're obligated to join the group, join our activities. Not at all. You know, there's no pressure. Everybody's just here for retirement. You know, it's like Belus, good morning, Belus, my brother in Leyte. Gino, just in time. Oh, first cup of me, I only have one cup a day, man. You know, I gotta limit my. I love coffee. I don't think I'll ever give up coffee. So one cup a day for me. You know, it's like I gotta watch my creatinine level, my kidney, and everything. Better a shirt. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Daniel, you, Vaughn, Daniel, JP's got we can all get a printed shirt that says a Panay Posse, but not everybody's into that. I know you, Vaughn. I know Daniel, of course, he's created the name, but not everybody. Not everybody's into that, man. I'll be one of the few who gets put in camera. All right, but if you're willing, like you said, you see my channel, man. I have over 1,000 videos, and I think I've only maybe interviewed one person, Clyde. Clyde was the only person I interviewed on the camera. I just don't do that because, Vaughn, be careful what you wish for sometimes, because the minute you get put on the camera, you'll have bashers. You'll have, it's YouTube's not easy. It's not for everyone. Be careful what you wish for, brother. Be careful what you wish for sometimes. We can't even let the camera go and just talk. All right, hey, it's up to you. It's up to you, Vaughn. It's up to you, man. I'm not gonna stop you from, if you want to do that. You know me, I try to I'm a people pleaser. I try to please people, but I just know that YouTube can be too much for some people. Good morning, all concerned citizen from the Colonel. All right, Colonel. John Vasquez, sir. Good morning, Gino. All right. Oh, before I forget, today is the start of Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday here in the Philippines. You're going to see a lot of people with the ash on their forehead today. I already saw some when I dropped Leanne at the school. In Calibo, the Cathedral of Calibo, they're going to have many services today, both in English and also Hiligaynon. So even on Sunday, the service in Calibo, they start early in the morning all the way to 6 p.m., at least 8 to 10 services during that time. It's like nonstop, one after the other. And again, most of it is actually in English. So if you want to attend Mass in Calibo Cathedral, is in English, and also Hiligaynon, the local dialect here. I'm all about hanging out and letting loose. All right, Bond. It's like you've been warned, brother. It's like even with expats, man. It's like you have to be careful, even with expats here. People here, I know they would understand what I'm saying. Like the Colonel, I'm sure. James, I'm sure. Belus, I'm sure. Even me, man. I'm careful when I'm around expats. When I go join expat get-togethers and stuff, I try to observe and listen more than talk. Belus, Gino, I have one pot a day. I believe you, man. I believe you, Belus. I used to be like that, man. I used to be before my treatments and all that, before my kidney issues, man. I could drink 3-4 cups of coffee a day, no problem. Lone Star, White Sand, howdy, Gene Allen from the. All right, new channel. All right, Ellen. All right, I like it. Lone Star, White Sand, Texas and Philippines, right? I like it. I like the new name. Alan. I'll have to check out the channel now. Sir Colonel, good morning. J-Boy, good morning. Kuya Gino, hoping to share our adventure too. Can't wait to do a. Oh, no worries, man. No, if you guys want to do an interview, I'm not, I haven't done it. I haven't done a lot about it. So it'll be, I could do a live stream together, or we can question. I haven't really done many interviews. Like I said, the only person I remember ever interviewing in over 1,000 videos is Clyde. Clyde from California. Haha, I eat bashers for lunch. Just kidding. All right, man. Sir Belize, good morning. I just eat. The start of Lent. Yes, the start of Lent today. Pay respect. It's all about respect here. Penance, penance for Catholics anyway, for Catholics, and to show humility. A lot of people go on like no meat on Friday. There's kind of all kinds of things that happens here from today, Ash Wednesday, all the way to Easter Sunday. Good morning, Kuya Fortune, J-Boy. Hi, good morning, Fortune, John Vasquez, Belus. Gino, you do very well. You're real. A lot of vloggers, buttercups. Just tubing soap opera of dreams. I think expats are the worst. The truth. Hey man, it's like I just know how to deal with expats. I'm careful around expats because one thing I know Belus knows about this. Man, expats, for me anyway, it's easier for me to hang out with Filipinos. I do have more expat friends because, like Dazzle says, I'm more American than I am Filipino. I get the culture of the expats, and I was in the military, so I do enjoy, a lot of times I do enjoy more the people that were veterans, that served in the military, or fellow military retiree like me. I tend to get along better with them. There's just some expats sometimes that are a lot to handle. And I was gonna bring that up, actually. That was gonna be part of my discussion today. One of the topics I was gonna bring up. There's actually, I saw a picture, kind of like a meme here, and it kind of caught my eye because they call it the expat. Let me see here. I found an article here. They call the person the conspiracy expat, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, like guys that are expats here, Belus, James, I'm sure all of us have seen this expat here in the Philippines. A lot of times in bars, like if you go to a bar, maybe the Canadian Beaver even in Rojas City, you're gonna experience this with an expat sitting there drinking a few beer. Even if you're not a drinker like me, I'm no longer a drinker. But usually, the conversation, it's about, people sitting around drinking beer, right? But all of a sudden, this conspiracy expat, they start talking about global agenda. The traffic here is a distraction tactic. Everything becomes political, or everything becomes a conspiracy. That just the conversation that not all, of course, majority are just like, man, majority of people here, majority expats I know here, we're just here, man, to just like enjoy life. It's like go fishing, go to the beach, spend time with our family. But you will never get away from like that conspiracy, conspiracy expat here. You can't, anywhere you go, even in Iloilo City, if you go to like a expat hangout here in Calibo, there's expat hangouts here. The minute you sit down, you can just sit there and not say anything, eat your burger, get your drink, and all of a sudden, every conversation is back in my country. It's like everything's about in the United States, back in my country. And it's not just Americans. It's also Australians, Europeans, you name it. It's like it's almost like it's hard for them to let go. For me, it doesn't make any sense because for me, you're already retired. You're one of the blessed people that was able to retire to the Philippines with a pension. You got a monthly check coming. Most of the people that I know here anyway in the Philippines are retired here, are no longer working, right? You're getting a pension, a monthly paycheck every month coming in. All they're doing here is like having your mango shakes, eating your seafood, going to the beach, going to like white sand beaches, turquoise waters. But there's always that guy, there's always that guy that just cannot let go of like whatever political drama happening, and always comparing it to the Philippines, and then sometimes even bashing the Philippines, bashing the corruption here, the government here. And I'm like, I don't say anything because I know it will just trigger it more, and maybe the conversation will keep on going. So I kind of just like, a lot of times I'm pretty good at that. I'm a good listener. So I just listen, kind of nod my head, drink my mango shake, and I can just kind of, in the back of my mind, it just kind of makes me smile. Like I said, man, for me, they call it, I've heard the term, the matrix of the working matrix in the developed country. To me, I just feel blessed that I'm not in it. Whatever they call it, matrix, whatever that thing, I'm just blessed that I'm not in it. I'm here in the Philippines. I can just enjoy the rest of my days with like as much less stress as possible, and then just enjoy my family, enjoy my good friends, the friends that I do pick and that I do hang out with. We rarely discuss, even on like my personal life, you will rarely hear me discuss politics or anything, or world issues and all that, because to me, like I said, man, I'm just happy that I was able to retire here in peace, man. All right, I don't want to get too behind on my comments. The start of Lent. Yes, Derek, the start of Lent. Today, Ash Wednesday here in the Philippines. Good morning, Gino fam and the Fortune. My brother in Bacoor in Cavite. No meat day for Catholics. J-Boy, good morning, Kuya Fortune. Hi, good morning, Fortune from John Vasquez. Oh, I did skip that. I thought sometimes the things skip there, but I did read Belusa's comment. I'm not against being on camera as long as you aren't worried about your. And no worries, man. Like I said, Joe, it's like I don't put people in the camera. It's like that's not what my channel. When I help you guys move here in the Philippines, I have no like what is that word like. It's not because I want to put you in a camera or grow my channel. That's not what it's all about. For me, it's the personal connection, Joe, that we have, that you trust me enough to guide you here. And that trust is important to me. It's like I do not take that for granted. It's like, for me, I just want you guys to have a nice, soft landing. Hopefully, Calibo, I'm here, I'm close by, or Boracay. Nice, even Iloilo, I've helped people move to Iloilo City. Nice soft landing here. And a lot of times, once I see that, hey, I got you an apartment, bank account, driver's license, I just kind of release, because you're going to find your life here. It's like JP now, it's like, with JP, when he first initially got here, I was seeing him more. I was like hanging out with him. You saw me and JP at Atiatihan. I took him to like a fiesta lunch. But I know the minute JP met Eden, hey man, it's like you're good, man. You're good. It's like I'll still see him off and on, right? But same thing with Ruben. It's like Ruben's been here, second year here for Ruben, here in Calibo. I don't see him as often like when he first landed here. And nothing wrong with that. To me, that's just the normal progression, especially once you meet your Filipina here. It's like, why would you want to hang out with Gino compared to a Filipina? You already met your partner. Enjoy life here in the Philippines. And I'm just happy. It's like, I'm just happy when I see my friends that I met, I can remember the time when they were talking about coming to the Philippines. I can remember, like with Robbie, with Edgar, with JP, with everybody that's moving here. I remember the time when they were communicating with me when they were in the United States, and now they've found partners here. They have a life here now. So to me, I'm just happy with that. That I was, a small piece in their transition here in the Philippines. Good AM, Joe, PBT, Derek, Lucita, and Vaughn. Hey Fortune, hey Fortune. I hope to see you coming June. J-Boy, Joe Canoe. Trolls living in their mom's basement with no life won't hurt my feelings. People without a life want to try and hurt those people. Yeah, I see that. I do see some, I think, it's hard to get rid of that, right? Right, Joe? There's always, like for me, when people come here and, I try to help them, I try to give advice, but whatever you do here, it's your life. It's like nobody should be, like if you decide to go out, with whoever you go out with or the life you build here, that's your life. That's every individual's entitled to however they, unless you're giving them money or paying their bills, man, you have no word on what people want to do with their lives, right or wrong. It doesn't matter, right or wrong. They can do whatever they want with their lives here or anywhere they live in it. If you don't eat your meat, no pudding for you. No pudding for you. Emilio, how's it going? Gino, I'm doing good. I'm just gonna rest today and tomorrow. I did see my ENT doctor yesterday. I'm still clogged. My one ear is good. I can hear well on my one ear. He checked my other ear. He said I don't need any more antibiotics. It's healing whatever ear infection that I had. He gave me these drops like to put on my ear, kind of like cortisone. It's got steroid ear drops. So, but I can hear on one ear. I just can't hear on one ear, on this ear, man. So, but I'll just rest today and tomorrow, and then Friday, Dazzle and I we're headed to Boracay Island for the weekend. Just Dazzle and I. Mom and Leanna, they're gonna stay home here at our house because we got Kal-El now. So somebody's got to stay now at home to watch Kal-El. Kal-El is only 3.5 months. We took Kal-El to the vet yesterday. Everything's good. He's now 1.08 kilos. He's still really light, but very active puppy. Chews on everything. That's expected. But we're happy. It looks like he's gonna be a healthy dog. Hope keep him healthy. Got all the shots. It was yesterday was like third round of shots, immunizations for Kal-El. Also deworming. So another deworming March 3rd, and then another set of shots March 10th. So hopefully that's the last shots, I think, for Kal-El. Good AM, Michael M. Belus, Colonel John V. J-Boy from Fortune. Good AM, Phil Emilio. Good morning all. Captain Ron, hey Captain Ron. Speaking of cameras, eBay has the Olympus T underwater. Ooh, underwater, man. 1-year warranty outlet. Reviewed by Critter Hunter. All right, I know Critter Hunter. I've seen a couple of his videos. I know he lives in Darwin, right? He does a lot of like the scuba diving. I haven't seen any of his videos lately. It hasn't crossed my feed on my YouTube channel. Belus John, morning, Master Fortune Colonel, J-Boy Derek, all right. Lone Star, all right, that's Alan, Lone Star. I gotta remember now, Lone Star White Sand, Alan. Let's see, Expat conspiracy theorists also believe the Dallas Cowboys are a good team. All right, oh man, Colonel's a good Dallas Cowboy. One time I liked the Dallas Cowboy. I remember, when the Troy Aikman years, I lived in Louisiana at the time, and when you live in Shreveport, Louisiana, you see all the Cowboy games are on TV. So I was watching Cowboy games at that time, and then the Saints also, the Saints game at the time there when I was stationed in Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. And then even the Tony Romo years, I like the even though they never won, you know, I like Tony Romo. I like the swagger of the Tony Romo. I just lost interest when it was Dak. You know, Dak doesn't do anything for me, man. Belus, smash the like. Vaughn. Yes, sir. Belus. Beautiful. All right, joking. The Cowboys are America's team. Maybe since America has gone to the Cowboy season. I mean, the Cowboys, you know, they're still probably, you know, the most valued franchise, though. You know, I know that. You know, it's like Jerry Jones is not becoming poor. Yeah, you know, he's getting richer and richer. You know, Cowboy fans are pretty diehard fans. Yes, we are so very blessed. Even in the Wild Wild West, I think even better in some ways in the jungle with the it is right. But you know, Belus, you know, for me, like I said, you know, the plain fact that you're able to retire in a foreign country, in a foreign land, a lot of times new to people, right? New, it's an adventure. You're meeting your Filipina partner. You're surrounded by beaches, white sand. You're having your mango shake, coconut, fresh coconuts. Just to have that life, the weather, just the weather, you know, it's like having tropical weather, sunshine, don't have to deal with 6 months of snow. I mean, I know a lot of the expats I know that I'm friends with, they're just grateful that their life turned out to where they're here and they're able to enjoy their fourth quarter of their lives, and don't have to deal with like some of the madness. You know, I mean, I call it madness because some of the things that are going on in the developed countries now, America, Canada, Australia, England, you know, the same things are happening. You know, it's getting, you know, hard to see. You know, it's not the America that I moved to in 1978, the American dream that I had in 1978, it's really not the same now. You know, it's like, for me, when I moved to the United States, I was excited. I was young, of course, but there was excitement. There was like, you know, you can be anything you want to be. You know, it's like people were united. You know, now it's just it just doesn't have that same vibe anymore. Even here, you will see it with many, you know, back in the day, if you met a Filipina here and you tell the Filipina, I'm taking you to America, they're excited. They want to jump on that plane today, you know. But now a lot of Filipinas, even here when you meet a Filipina here, I don't want to go there. You know, it's like they'd rather stay here, you know, especially if you're already retired. They see you guys got a good life here. Chances are, even if you're retired here, if you bring your Filipina to the US, a lot of times you'll have to go back to work, you know, because the prices and everything has gone up. It just has changed. The dynamic has changed now. Made a lot of money in Dallas from the guys at work. Betting against the Cowboys, I'm sure, man. Like I remember, like when I was in Freeport, Louisiana, you know, Cowboy fans, man, they're pretty diehard fans, and being on camera is proof I finally made it to Aklan province and the next phase of my life is beginning. Yes, right? You know, it's like, and I'm excited for you, Joe, because I really think you're going to find a good life here. Skating Geezer, my friend in Ormoc City. First day of Lent. All right, first day of Lent. Yes, yes, my brother. Some people can't handle the jungle. Yeah. I'm probably one of those people, man. You know, it's like, even though I like the province, you know, I like the serenity, the peace and serenity here in Numancia, Aklan, my gated. I do like living in a gated community. I don't think I can live in the jungle. You know, I lived most of my life in big cities. You know, I lived in Manila, I lived in Los Angeles, Long Beach, San Antonio, Texas, Houston. You know, I've lived in big cities. Even Shreveport, Bossier City was a good sized city. I've never really lived in like remote areas. So I don't think I would enjoy it for a few days, but I think I need that like I need Calibo. I need like I can have my community here living in the province, but I'm only a short drive to Calibo where I can experience a mall. I can experience McDonald's, Jollibee, those kind of things. And then SNR even in Iloilo. I'm not that far of a drive, or Rojas City. I think I'm that person like in between, it's like, that's why I think for me anyway, just for me, I found a perfect place here in Aklan province because I like everything about Aklan, man. That's why I never left, and I don't ever plan on leaving Aklan. I'm an hour 15-minute drive to Katiklan to access Boracay. I'm 15 minutes away from a good hospital here in Calibo. Like yesterday, I had a check with my ENT doctor. Rojas City's 2 hours. Iloilo City is 3.5 hours. I found a good spot for me anyway. For me, it works here for me. Emilio, good to hear that. Good to hear that. Life. Hey, all right. Life of Justin Bond. Proof of life. Proof of life. Proof of life. That's funny. Proof of life. The statement they made, if you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding, is from Pink. Oh, okay. I didn't get it. I didn't get it, Joe. I never heard of it. I've never heard of that term. It's from Pink Floyd, Brick in the Wall. Okay, all right. I've heard of a few Pink Floyd songs, but I wasn't a big fan. I've heard a few of their songs. I know who Pink Floyd is, but I just never heard of that. If you don't eat meat, you can't have any pudding. I guess if you what is that? If you can't eat your meat, maybe no dessert. I still don't get it. I don't understand the meaning. Exactly, Vaughn. I think most missed that. I know Gino did. Yeah, I'm totally missed it, Phil. Totally missed it. Not my era. Pink Floyd was not my. I'm more of an 80s. 80s was like the year I really started listening to music. That's my teenager years, was like in the 80s. And I know Pink Floyd is more like the 70s, I think, Jerry Jones feels successful because you all are still talking about the Cowboys. Hey, that's what I'm saying, Jerry Jones is laughing, man. Jerry Jones is having the time of his life. The value of the Cowboys at astronomical from when he bought it. If Jerry Jones ever sells the Cowboys, he's going to get over $10 billion. And he paid maybe, 200 million maybe? It's like... he got rich. He was already rich, and he got richer because of the Cowboys. So, and his family for, that his legacy, So to me, it's like, and he's got championships, no matter how people, say bad things about Jerry Jones, man, he got 3 rings. It doesn't matter how, there are owners out there in the NFL that don't have 1. He got 3. He got 3 rings, man. JP, hey, JP, all right. Hello, Gino and the posse, all right. The Colonel Chronicles, J&K Videos, Zip Link. Oh, I know. All right. Just hold on, all right. All right. Somebody knocked and gave me a key, so... Sorry about that. So I heard somebody like calling my name like out by my gate. What's good? Derek, what's good? J&K, video zip. Yeah, I saw the video of Karen was doing the bicycle thing and then the zip line. They went to Katiklan to hang out. I saw the video this morning where chicken, and then Levi's chicken. Karen was picking up the eggs, and then James, they took the bus. They took the bus back from Katiklan back to their house in Balete. And James, that craziness, that happens here, man. Where there's not many buses coming in, and that's rare actually for Katega. I was surprised because normally there's a lot of buses there because of Boracay, but I did see when James and Karen were getting on the bus, and it wasn't even air conditioned. It's not even an air conditioned bus, and you can see how there's really no line, right? There's no one line to get on the bus. Everybody's kind of like trying to get in the bus, and I was proud of James because he gave up his seat, man. James is just a gentleman. Gave up his seat he didn't mind standing on the bus. That's just James, man. James is a good guy, man. Joe, any publicity is good publicity. JP. Hey, Tutoy. Hello, Colonel Derek. Joe, K. Bon, Emilio, Captain R, and Belus. Hey, JP. There, JP. Yeah. Hello, Master Yoda. Are you still at Casa Española, JP? Yeah, I think he's still there. I think JP, let me see, when did he get here? 29? He must have renewed because the first month was, JP got here December, so his first month at La Casa was January, so he's on his second month at La Casa Española. Good morning, y'all. Hey, Ray in the Philippines. Good morning, Ray. Bam, living the high life in Tagaytay. Ray in the house from Vaughan. You look like Jet Li. Hey, man, it's like Jet Li's a movie star, right? It's like that's the first time I've heard I look like Jet Li. I've heard people look like I look like Gus Fring from Breaking Bad, but Jet Li, it's a first. It's a first that I heard that. Finally slept all night. Have had Yardia for the past few days. Good morning, Ben. Oh, good, Ray, that you finally slept all night, man. Joke, I'm sorry for being out of the loop, but what part of Aklan are you in? Joke is still in the U.S., but he is eager to come to Aklan, JP. He's looking at possibility of Altabas in Aklan, but more likely he'll settle in here first in Calibo so I can help him get that soft landing, get all his documents, his tourist visa, bank account, driver's license, that kind of thing. Then he's looking at Altabas. He likes what he sees in Altabas in Aklan. I hope all is good, Ray. Captain Ron, Pink Floyd, Brick in the Wall. Awesome movie in the theater when it came out. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know they had a movie, man. I didn't know Pink Floyd had a movie. Thanks, Vaughn. I think I've got a stopper in it now. All right. Joe Cano. I'm still stuck in Idaho, waiting for life to be settled so I can move to the Philippines. Probably will look at Camellia at first since I need a yard for my... Oh, that's right. He's bringing his dog here to the Philippines, so that's why we need something that has like mine, like my gated fence for the dog. And there are available ones here. Actually, there's one vacant right now, a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, because my friend had lived there, Expat. They moved to Puerto Galera, so it's available. It's got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and they were renting for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. They were paying 8,000 pesos here at Camellia Aklan. And it's got a yard. It's got a fence. But I will be here for another month or two and still think it's a great place to land if you're coming to Aklan province. JP actually gave me a list of and I kept the list. I was gonna talk about the list on the live stream, but I think it really just applies for people that are coming here. Maybe not of interest to other people. I don't know, but I have the list. So when people are coming here and wanting to move to La Casa Española, JP came up with a list of like items to, because it's furnished, you know, La Casa Española is furnished, but the things that you buy to make it a home, you know, like they do have sheets, but some, you know, might not be the most comfortable sheets, blankets, pillows. You might not be the most comfortable. Cleaning supplies, you know, cleaning supplies, and then little things that makes more comfortable home, you know, once you get here at in Calibo. 2 new updates. We got teeth cleaned. All right, you got your teeth cleaned. All right, by a dentist, not hygienist. Yesterday for $20 each. You'll have to tell me, JP, where you went, because me, I go to the dentist at Asia Pacific Medical Center. I don't know if that's the dentist that you use. I like the one at Asia Pacific Medical Center because to me, they're the most modern dentists here. I mean, you know, they have panoramic x-ray. The dentist is in full gear, man, with the full oxygen thing and everything. You know, it's like modern state, you know, because, you know, Asia Pacific's only been around for 2 years. So they have the best equipment of all the dentists I've seen here. Fortune, good AM, JP and Ray. Ray, good morning, Fortune. Fortune, good old Captain Ron. JP, my proof of life was meeting Gino and Dassel. And the quote, yeah, I remember the day JP landed in the airport when I picked him up. One small step for me, one giant step for the posse. You know, it's like that was. I have it on video. JP. You had a crappy experience. Hope you are better. Experienced that in my teenage year. I'll have to research it because I don't know what that illness is. I'll have to research it. Rest in peace. Oh no, I saw that. Robert Duvall. I think he was 95 years old. Jesse Jackson too. Joe, this is twice in as many months. Every time I leave Tagaytay. Okay, ooh, man. I'll have to research that now because I'm not familiar with that illness. Juan, great info, JP. You're awesome. The posse is great, JP. Check out that Philippines Life rental. Oh, I saw that, Phil, that Michael Smith started a website with all the different rentals. That is awesome, man. It's like he started a list of rentals in the Philippines. Great idea. Great source of information for sure. I do have a pre-move change of opinion. Get the wallet size passport to when you renew, so you have a backup. I do have get the wallet size passport. Oh, okay. I know that, don't they have like a passport and passport ID too? Passport ID. But to me, man, the more the identification, the more that you have, the better you are. You know, even here in the Philippines, the more IDs you can get, like if you know, ACR card, if you can get a barangay ID, to me that's like you know, if your barangay where you live, wherever barangay you live, just apply at the barangay hall. Worst thing they can tell you is that they won't give you a barangay ID, but a lot of times they will give you a barangay ID because, you know, they earn money. You know, that barangay ID costs money, got to be renewed every year. So it's an income for the barangays here. Dean, hey Dean, my good friend in Colorado Springs. Good morning, got you on back. Oh, thank you, Dean. Appreciate it, my friend, my Air Force brother there, Dean. Derek, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Napalm. Must be like a quote from like Vietnam era, napalm, the home office. Oh, home office, Dean. All right. Yes, rest in peace, Robert Duvall. The consigliere in The Godfather, man. Yeah, I mean Robert Duvall's been in so many amazing movies, man. Rest in peace, also Jesse Jackson, the Reverend. Yes. Rentals newly launched. Yes, I saw that. I watched a video of it yesterday. I haven't been to the site. But I'll check it out. I'll check it out. JP, Giardia is beaver fever. I got mine from drinking water purified with iodine pills. Lost 10 pounds. Ooh, wow, wow. And missed time from work. Oh, wow. Um, I don't think I've ever suffered that. I don't think. Get well then, man. Get well, Ray, man. Sounds like it's pretty serious. If you could lose 10 pounds in a week, man, that's serious. Dehydration and all that, man. That's like yesterday, CNY was holiday. Chinese New Year. Brought the house crew to Manila Zoo for R&R. All right, all right. Then lunch at the Vine Patio, which is resto along the breakwater of Manila Bay in the CCP area. All right. Captain Gino, saw a house for rent in your neighborhood on TPL Rentals. Okay. Philippines, wouldn't you like to be my neighbor too? Mr. Rogers, yeah. I mean, there's always, like I said, here at Camellia Clan, there's in our gated community, there's always people here renting Airbnb, rentals, long-term rentals, short-term rentals. There's always available because a lot of the homes are occupied, and a lot of people buy these homes here as an investment. A lot of OFW, a lot of people that live overseas. Okay, so I did that. I did have a topic. Now I kind of got sidetracked. I kind of got sidetracked here. But there are I talk about a little bit about the expat, conspiracy expat, conspiracy expat. This one caught my eye here. Year end that for 2025, almost $36 billion of remittance came to the Philippines. These are overseas Filipinos working overseas, sending money back here in the Philippines. 2025 was a record. Like I said, $35.6 billion got sent here. And I've talked about it before. That really is what, here in the Philippines, that is what's cushioning whatever the Philippines suffer, like as far as like unemployment. The solution is like export more people. That's the kind of like, it's been like that here in the Philippines since the 1970s. That's why the Philippine economy does okay. There's a lot of people that graduate college here in the Philippines. Most of them are going to be unemployed when they graduate. There's not many jobs here in the Philippines, so it's always been that dynamic of like Philippines exporting people to countries all over the world. I just found it interesting that even with all the turmoil going on around the world, right? It's like the developed countries are struggling, economies are struggling, that remittance are like firing on all cylinders. It's like, and they're even expecting it for 2026 to be more remittance to the Philippines. The United States remains the number one source of dollar remittance to the Philippines. Money coming into the Philippines, remittance, like people working in the U.S. sending money to the Philippines. United States remain number one, followed by Singapore. So I didn't even know that. Singapore, I knew a lot of Filipinos go to Singapore. I didn't realize they're like number two. Higher even than Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia being three. That's why I wanted to bring up the article, because for me, it's always been, in my mind, it's always been America sending the most dollars to remittance, and then the second, what, Middle East, Saudi Arabia. Lots of Filipinos have been going to Saudi Arabia since the 1970s. Build infrastructure in Saudi Arabia. Work as nurses, doctors, engineers, you name it. Saudi Arabia's been hiring Filipinos since maybe even for the 70s. I just say the 70s because that was the time I started reading and started understanding life. But I just found that kind of interesting how, and they're even predicting a higher amount this coming year for 2026. So it is not slowing down, is what I'm trying to point out. Remittance, money being sent is not slowing down at all. Oh, okay. My topic today was gonna be, I did a video last night about setting boundaries with your Filipina, was my topic, my walking video. And I was just gonna like talk about it more because a lot, on my walks normally I try to like think like while I'm walking. So I might have not explained the video more, but it's getting good. People are watching it, people are replying, so I think they understood what I was trying to mean. But what I've noticed also, I forgot to mention it on the video, is a lot of times, when foreigners come here to the Philippines, they meet their Filipina here. The common dynamic usually is a Filipina that live in the province, more traditional, more a simple life to the Filipina. A lot of times what I've seen is like, the expat kind of like brings his lifestyle to that Filipina. It's like, that's why I said, you gotta like establish that boundary early. Because a lot of times, they start spending so much money on the Filipina, changing her dress, shopping at malls. Most Filipinas here in the province, they probably never seen SM Mall. It's like, I know here in Aklan province, we don't have SM Mall. So for a Filipina living here in Aklan province, they'd have to go to Rojas City in Capiz or Iloilo to see a SM Mall. But a lot of times, the expat will take them there to those areas, shop them at SM Mall. It might be the first time the Filipinas ever been to like a department store or like H&M. Like I know for Dazzle, when I start taking Dazzle to Iloilo City, it's the first time she set foot at SM City Iloilo. First time ever where she saw H&M department store where you go in, it's a name brand store, so just be careful. Just be careful with that in the beginning because I know some expats go overboard. I've met one, a friend of mine, when he was long distance LDR with the Filipina. And when he got here, man, my friend started buying her iPhone. The Filipinas never even had her own phone before, and he's buying them. And because, he has money. He has money in the U.S. He's got a good job in the U.S. So for him, I guess it's just common but you just got to be careful because like you're introducing that kind of things to your Filipina, right? You're a Filipina that's never owned a phone or have a phone that's an Oppo, like a less than $100 phone, and all of a sudden you're buying her like a $1,000 phone, $1,500 phone. That's a big leap. You're almost kind of like, changing she might get used to that, right? To that kind of lifestyle. And then when things start getting sour in the relationship, or, if you start hearing the expat complaining like he's becoming a human ATM, that the expenses are too much, it's like, but a lot of times, it's the expat that created it, and in a lot of ways, because like I said, most Filipinas living here in Aklan province, they don't have the big malls here. They don't have an iPhone store. They don't have things like that here. So when you start doing that kind of stuff early, don't be later down the road complaining about How come now? Oh, I remember one friend of mine, when he was dating, or before he got married to the Filipina, they used to ride buses, right? They used to ride buses in the province here. Not even air conditioned bus, right? Now the Filipino, they're back in the States now, and now they're talking about coming back here to the Philippines. They're just trying to get her citizenship in the U.S. And his wife told him, it's like, yeah, when we go back to the Philippines, I want to get a SUV. And my friend says, what? Who are you? It's like, before they were just riding a bus. Now she wants a SUV when they come back. So be careful. Be careful when you do things. I know, people just want to spoil their Filipina. I want them to experience new things. But be careful with that. Be careful with that. Fortune Cultural Center. I thought that was what you meant, CCP. I was thinking Cultural Center. I just never seen it like CCP. See, when you put CCP, Fortune, I was thinking the China. I was thinking China. See, I wasn't thinking that. I know folk arts, right? The Folk Art Cultural Center in Rojas Boulevard by the Bay Area. That's why it kind of like CCP. I was trying to think in my head, See, in the military, the way we do it, Fortune, because in the military, we have so many abbreviations in the military. Everything's an acronym in the military. So the first time you introduce the acronym in the military, the way we write, the way we text, communicate, we always spell out the whole word and put in parentheses CCP. Like I would put Cultural Center of the Philippines, quotation mark CCP. That's how we roll in the military. That's because, man, in the military, everything's about an acronym. Everything's about ORI, ORE. Everything's like it's almost like a code in the military. So that's what we do normally in the military. That way, people that are not in the military, they can understand. Yes, it's the U.S. passport ID card. All right, Derek, that's what I thought. I know I've seen that on the application where you apply for a passport and there's an ID card. I don't think I've ever gotten the ID card. I did renew my passport in 2020 because it was 10 years. 2010 was when I got my passport in the U.S. March of 2011, I came here. 2020, I renewed my passport by mail, but I didn't even have to go to the embassy in Manila. I just sent them the application and my old passport. But I don't think I applied for the card. Maybe in 2030, when I apply for my U.S. passport, I will apply for that passport ID too. Can't hurt, it's like having an extra ID. Allies, allocation, a police now, AI polls, okay. Southern Cal Benny, hi Gino, I love of smell of napalm. It's a movie code from, okay, all right. I have seen Apocalypse Now a long time ago. Yeah, I seen Apocalypse Now movie. I'm not very good with like quotes anymore in movies, man. My brain doesn't function like it used to be. I was quick with a lot of things. I remember a lot of things, but when I had my chemotherapy, it affected, I have brain fog now. There's some times where I could be sitting here and the most simplest things, and I'm trying to think it and I can't think it, It is what it is. And then I'm getting older. I'll be 60 this year, so that could be it too. I don't know. When I was younger, I could like spitball everything. When I was 45, when I got here, man, I was like a walking computer. You can even ask Dazzle. Even when I went to college, I could memorize stuff like easily. Man, I can't memorize anything now. Sometimes the simple things that I should know by heart, right? Like the phonetic alphabet in the military. Sometimes I can't remember. What does the letter S stand for? I can't remember. It's like, I've been talking that language all my life, and all of a sudden, I can't remember S for Sierra. It's just, it is what it is, right? It is what it is, man. Good PM, Southern Cal Benny. Yes, foreign remittances are propping the Philippine economy, especially how corruption dominates government spending. Yeah. Southern Cal Benny. Hey Fortune, thanks and good morning to you. Southern Cal Benny. People top export. Yeah, people is the top export to the Philippines. That's our number one export to the world is people. Even if there's a trade deficit or reduced tourism, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, that's why, I did a video, right? I did a live stream about tourism. People always, the Philippines is almost dead last in Southeast Asian nation. Compared to other Southeast Asian nations, the Philippines is almost dead last when it comes to tourism. But to the Philippines itself, it's not like ruining the economy here, even because, the remittance is what's fueling the economy here. Tourism, I mean, it helps, of course. They're going to promote tourism. More tourism doesn't hurt the Philippines, but it's not, that you can say, oh man, Philippines is collapsing because we're the worst in tourism in this Southeast Asia. That's not the case. That's not the case. And then, out of all the countries, Philippines still rate as far as like long-term people, long-term, when I say long-term, foreigners that come to the Philippines and retire and live here for long this, not tourism. Tourism is like 1-2 week vacation. Countries like Thailand, Vietnam, that they will always kind of be more attractive, I think, just because they have so much more to offer as far as food, culture, infrastructure. So I get it. I get it that they would be higher attracting tourists. But as far as like long-term foreigners staying in a country, the Philippines is not far behind from Thailand. You can check the statistics. They are catching up. Even though the infrastructure in the Philippines is better infrastructure in Thailand, better medical care in Thailand, better food, you name it. We're not far behind as far as like people wanting to stay in the Philippines for a longer time. I think it's got a lot to do with the people. It's easier to get along with Filipinos than it is to get along with Thai people. First, the language barrier. Even when I've gone to Thailand many times, and it's hard to communicate with people, and it's hard to build relationships with people when you don't talk the same language. Here, I mean, you can land here in the Philippines, man. The first month you're here, you're gonna be Filipinas. You're in a farm, yeah, and you're in a farm. You're like Filipinos look at you, it's like, ooh, a farm. It's like not hard for you to be the Filipina here. I love the smell of bangsilog. Yeah, I saw the picture. I hadn't commented yet. I don't think I have commented, but I saw the picture really quick. JP, when he says bangsilog, JP is now becoming Filipino because in the morning, this is JP's breakfast now in the morning, right? He's got rice. He's got 2 sunny side up egg, and he's got a bangus. A dry, almost, it's not a dried fish completely, but bangus is like milkfish, fried milkfish, rice, and two sunny side up eggs is what JP's breakfast is now. I mean, I don't think JP ever had that breakfast in the US, but he's becoming Filipino, man, becoming Filipino. Vaughn, if you have some data about how OFE remittances impact the Philippines economy, Fortune, please send it my way. All right, yeah, Fortune would, Fortune knows that, he's the banker, man. He knows Banco Central of the Philippines, all that remittance, good source. Fortune's the good source, man. Gino, I heard that the reason why US is number one is because a lot of remittance companies are US based. So it goes through the US banking system. Oh, okay. I'll have to research that, Southern Cal Benny. That's interesting, Southern Cal Benny. Yesterday, we went out to visit James and Karen. All right, James shot an interview with me and, of course, mentioned Gino Dasso leading me to Atlanta. All right, JB. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear that you got to hang out with James and Karen, man. They're good people, JP. They're my good friends here. It's like trusted friends. It's like I trust James with everything, man. Vaughn, I will watch. Me too, man. I'll watch that, JP, for sure. There is estimated 300,000 undocumented Filipinos in the U.S. Yeah, that's been around, man. I had relatives that were undocumented in the U.S. and it's like that's been going on since the 70s. Not everybody that went to the U.S. are from the Philippines. Even back in the 70s, what a lot of people were doing, Filipinos in the 70s, it was a lot easier back then to just apply for a tourist visa. That's why it's so difficult now to apply for a tourist visa to the United States. So strict, almost impossible to get a tourist visa to the US. Back in the 70s, Filipinos would get a tourist visa to go to California, whatever, in the US and overstay, never leave, start working. Because back then, it was so easy back then, Phil, to get a social security number, to get a driver, not a driver's license, but a California ID, was so easy back then. You used to be able to go to California and just go to show up like with your Philippine passport, and you had your visa, tourist visa. Yeah, and you can just go to like to Social Security Department back then and apply for a Social Security number. And they would ask you, why do you need a Social Security number? And all you had to say was like, I have traveler's checks that I brought from the Philippines and I want to deposit it in the US bank. And they would issue you a Social Security card. And back then, they didn't have Social Security cards where working or non-working Social Security cards. So now Social Security has tightened up, because of all that stuff happening in the 70s. If you're saying 300,000 undocumented Filipinos in the U.S., I actually think that number's low. I actually think maybe that's what's reported, but I actually think that number's low, Phil. I think there's more undocumented Filipinos in the U.S. than 300,000. You can get a mid-range Samsung for $250. I tried to buy Eden one instead of fixing her 7-year-old Samsung. She insisted on fixing her phone. Yeah, right? It's like you got a good woman, man. Eden's a good woman. Yeah. See, to me, those are good green flags. That's a good green flag but then again, that's where what I was explaining, JP. You could have just said, okay, she wants to get her phone, but you could have just said, hey, just buy a new one. You can afford it. But again, at least it worked. You don't want to do that precedent when you're like spoiling your Filipina, buying her expensive gifts because of course. Once you buy her a new Samsung phone at $250, the next phone probably is going to be the same or higher price, right? You're not going to go back from $250 Samsung, all of a sudden you're back to like an old phone or an Oppo, a Chinese phone. Dean, military is built on TLAs, 3-letter acronyms, right, Dean? Everything is like an acronym in the military, man. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Yeah, see, Derek, I can usually name all of it, right? The phonetic alphabet, but sometimes, I get brain fog to where all of a sudden I can't remember what T tango means. It's like, I'm like, before I could just like, I could read something and I could say the phonetic, but now I struggle, man. And I did for 20 years, man. I spoke that language, the acronyms, but it is what it is. Like I said, that chemotherapy really messed a lot with my, even my brain. I know even with my brain, it messed up my brain. Some bombs were made of napalm before, and here the military used that versus the Muslims in Mindanao. Have been seeing JP liking bangsilog. Don't forget the dippings. Oh yeah, the vinegar and spicy vinegar sauce. That's good with that milkfish, with that bangus. We'll watch the JP also. Oh yeah, me too, man. I watch all of James and Karen's video. I'm a big fan of them, man. I'm hoping they grow bigger and then more success than James and Karen. They deserve it, man. They're like great people. Captain Ron, that's a great price for a phone, JP. My Samsung Note 9 was still working after 13 years. I used a $23 Samsung gift from Chi, I think 3 years ago. All right, man. Like me, man, my phone this is an iPhone 10 that I'm using. It was given to me by my friend in Hawaii. I just inherited the phone. That's why it doesn't charge as well, so I have to like charge it all the time. But I'm not, I'm pretty frugal, man. I'm not gonna buy a new iPhone just so, James and Karen, hey, good morning, James. I'm glad you got to interview JP, man. I'm glad. Can't wait for the video to come out, James. Has anyone used the Boracay iPass? I know I haven't. Is it still working? James? They at one point there was the iPass that JP was talking about. It's like a online automated that way when you get to the port you don't have to hit all the lines, the check-in line, registration line, the environmental fee, it's like what is that, terminal fee, and then your boat ticket. You're supposed to be able to do that all online with a QR code or something, but I've never heard anybody had any success using it, man. To tell you the truth, JP. I know most of the locals don't use it because I think there's a fee. And with the locals, man, it don't matter if it's like a 20 peso fee. It doesn't matter how low the fee is. They're not gonna pay it, man. They're like, I'll rather stand in line. It's like, and then a lot of times the frustration, like I said, with like online systems here in the Philippines, they're hard to work. It's like you fill out all the stuff and then you hit send and it'll say error or it won't work or it's offline. So a lot of times it's not worth it. That's why I don't hear many people using the Boracay iPass, JP. Good morning, Bill Meyer. Good morning, prayers, brother, prayers. Good morning, J and K. Good AM, James and Karen from Fortune. I am happy for you, JP. I did that, JP, last June, but Gino said it's not working now. When it was hassle-free for us. All right, good to hear, Fortune. Long-term stays in the Philippines is so much easier, and the Philippines welcomes expats while Thailand keeps changing the rules and making it harder to stay long term. I think so. That's what what I've seen anyway, Joe. It's like, it's so easy to stay in the Philippines long term, That's why I don't even recommend for people, like, especially if you're trying the Philippines, you're just trying out the Philippines. I don't even recommend that SRRV from the beginning. Try the Philippines first for about a year. Just do the tourist visa. Look at Michael Smith, man. Michael Smith's been in the Philippines. He's a vlogger here, famous vlogger here. He's still doing the tourist visa, man. Because it's so easy, People think it's difficult. It's so easy, And the cost is not that much. It's like, on average, with the ID, with the ACR card, you're only paying about $500 to $600 a year your first year here. What's that? That's not even expensive, man. Rather than all of a sudden you got to deposit $15,000 in a bank account, $1,500 application fee, all the forms you got to get notarized. I mean, just to get to me, I wouldn't pursue the SRRV until you're really committed to the Philippines. It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money to be like, after 6 months, oh dang, I don't really want to be in the Philippines, man. Just go on the tourist visa, man. Good morning, Fort. And then, if you're the lucky ones, like a lot of times, you come to the Philippines in a tourist visa, you meet your Filipina, you get married, then you can apply for the permanent resident, permanent residence, a lot cheaper. Permanent resident is a lot cheaper than the SRRV, man. JP, Eden went home for a couple of days to take care of some property issues with her mother. Preventative only. All right, JP. Good morning, Jukanu, Jukanu. I have a Samsung tablet that still works, JP. How old is the AB, JP? Fortune, good AM Bill. All right. Sir James and Karen, JP, good morning. At least 10 years old, maybe even 12. Wow, it's like awesome, man. You got your money's worth, man, JP. You got your money's worth with that. All right, I got to the bottom of the comments, which is a good thing if I get to the bottom of the comments. But I had, some of the things we discussed a lot, about foreigners have a tendency of like spoiling their Filipinas. And for me, if you can afford it, if you're really wealthy, it's a non-issue, right? But if you're on a budget, and you're trying to spend more of what you can afford, I think that's where the problem, starts. And then again, you're meeting a simple Filipina province girl, and you're like showering her with gifts. She's getting used to that lifestyle, and then later on, if you really like become husband and wife, later on, don't be surprised what you created. Don't be surprised that your Filipina now can't handle like the frugal living, wants that, because you expose your Filipina. It's almost like be careful what you create. Kind of like Frankenstein. No, just kidding. All right, and then that's the boundaries. We talked about green flag, a little bit about green flag with JP, the Filipina not wanting more. That's usually a green flag. But this one, I stole it from a group that I belong, an expat group that I belong. Just some red flags. When you meet a Filipina. And most of this people already should know. You would think, most of this, but it still surprises me a lot of times. Some foreigners, expat that come here that make a mistake. Like I said, the biggest decision you'll make here in the Philippines, I keep preaching this, is finding the right Filipina. You find the right Filipina here, you're set for life. You're gonna have a good life here in the Philippines. You meet the wrong Filipina here, it's total misery. You're gonna be miserable here if you meet the wrong Filipina. And this one I like. I saw they enumerated some of the red flags that a few red flags that you should keep an eye on this red flag. Like number one, money talk way too early in the relationship. You just met the Filipina. A lot of times this is a long distance relationship. A lot of times you're still in the US, you meet a Filipina, and you start hearing things like, my phone broke, or my grandma is sick, my rent is due, or hints about sending cash. They won't like automatically say that, hey, send me money, I need money. But it's things like that, some, already some red flags there, it's like, because genuine people, a genuine Filipina will build a relationship not based on money or not based on what you can provide to them, right? Most of the time, they're interested about you. Like, what things do you like? Are you like, why are you interested in the Philippines? Why are you interested in meeting a Filipina? Not their, they want to get a connection with you. Not, asking, they're not going to straight out ask for money, but usually they will hint. That they need something. So that's a red flag. Watch out for that. And then the ones that, you meet them online and they're avoiding to meet you to do a video call with you. To me, that's a red flag already, because video calls are so easy now. Like me, after this live stream, if you want to video call me, you can video call me. You can schedule a video call me, and we can talk to each other. You can see me. So they'll say things like the camera is broke on their phone, or some kind of excuse that. So be careful, because that's all. To me, that's almost like, is this person even really real? If you're not video, you can't video chat, with this person. Number 3 says your family pressure for support straight away. Helping later is normal, but if you're suddenly expected to bankroll cousins, like I was gonna point that out too. To me, there's a difference here when you say family. To me, family is like immediate family, right? The relatives are another story. Like usually you got your Filipina partner, the Filip partner's mother or siblings. To me, that's kind of like family. Now the cousins, second cousin, third cousin, uncles, that's really outside of the family anymore. So the minute they're starting mentioning other parts of their family needing help, red flag. Another thing is like, if your Filipina says she wants to keep your relationship private, like not sharing your picture in like her Facebook, because your Filipina should be excited that she met on a farm. Your Filipina should be like posting that, oh, I met him for farm, I'm proud of him, he's a great guy. Should be now, there's some Filipina that will trick you too, though. Be careful with this too. They might set up another account where they don't have too many friends. It's really not their main Facebook account, and you'll show up there. So keep an eye on those. A lot of times when a Filipina is bragging about you that I met him, is a great guy, usually that's a good sign. That's when your Filipina's hiding you, kind of like a red flag, And then the last thing that they listed here, love bombing fast. I've never really heard this term before. Love bombing fast and future promises. Like saying, baby, I love you on the first week. First week of relationship, they're already, baby, I love you on the first week. Or marriage talk, talking about marriage already on day 3. That happens here. I mean, relationship here goes on a rapid pace, but kind of keep a watch of that, because like relationship really takes years to build, right? Love even really takes sometimes years to build, genuine true love. It's like that I love you the first week. Kind of, it's like be careful with that. Like I like the last quote here. It says, real relationships grow, scams rush. So I like that last comment there. All right, let me I don't want to get too behind on the comments here. All right. Good AM Bill from all right, Bond. Sir James and Karen from John Vasquez. JP Calibo, good morning. JP Belus, good show. Salute. Thank you, Belus. I tried to come up with topics, actually. I never used to try to come up with topics, Belus, but you actually, Belus, inspired me to always have like different topics to discuss, That way, at least maybe I'm giving out information. Like Colonel was telling me, like the day-to-day life that you don't hear, that you hear like how it works here in the Philippines. So hopefully I'm sharing that information. JP, Google said cell phones only last 7 years. What surprised mine was third. Man, that's amazing, man. I do remember, Captain Ron, when I moved here to the Philippines, I had one of those Motorola Razr phone that flipped. Man, I love that phone, man. I love that phone. And man, I had that phone. I think I had that phone for sure in 2011 when I got here. I brought it from the US, and that was my phone here, the flip Razr, Motorola Razr. And I had that phone close to 10 years, man. It was an awesome phone. Blue Arrow did not like the last little road to JKK Manor. It almost treated me to a Colonel-style tip-over. Street tires are made for streets, not mud. For sure, JP. Created Frankenstein, skating geezer, right? So I just wanted to point that out because a lot of expats, you hear this, on threads, on Facebook groups, they always talk about becoming a human ATM for their Filipinas family. But to me, a lot of times, it's also the expat that created that situation. Just my opinion, because for one, your ATM has got a PIN number, right? You can't take money out of the ATM without a PIN. And you're supposed to have a secret PIN, right? It's your PIN number. It's like nobody here in the Philippines is forcing you to give money. It's like, I know I've been here 15 years and nobody's ever forced me to give money here. It's always like me willing to help, because I want to. It's like I have turned down people here. Some of Dazzle's relatives, I have turned them down because if I feel like it's not, what is that word? Like it's not justified, if I see a person here, like even during when I was if I see a person here drinking, smoking cigarettes, and all of a sudden he gets sick and he's asking me for help, because he's now in the hospital, he needs medical care. Well, I'm not going to be so quick to help that person because that person wasn't taking care of themselves. They were smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol abusively. So to me, doesn't make any sense. They should have been taking better care of themselves. That's just my point. I will help people that I feel like they're worth helping, that they deserve. They just went through a hard time. Everybody goes through a hard time, and I have the means to help them. I don't mind doing that, but not everybody's worthy of help, right? We all know people that you see them, they end up borrowing money from you because they overspent on a vacation, or you can see them living extravagant life and not preparing for emergencies. There's just people like that. Hey, Castaway Trip, Michael, man, I love the video, man. I love the video that you about the Twin Lakes video, man. That lake's awesome. The nature walk. I do know, man, when I've gone to places like that, it gets slippery because all the rain, the algae on those steps. It's like I was surprised when that friend of yours, she started running down, and I was like, "Whoo, man! I hope she doesn't slip." And she did. She didn't slip. It's like because I've been there. I've been there to where I've walked those type of steps, and they're very slippery. The Colonel, JP, now you know. JP, Captain Ron, my backup phone is Motorola and is 8 years old. I use it for GPS only, but it has full function. Good AM, Mike Castaway. JP, Colonel, I had to let Eden off and walk. She was happy to get off because the back tire went sideways instead of forward in the mud. Yeah, I wouldn't even attempt, man. We have the motorbike now. We have the Honda Click. I wouldn't attempt riding that on the mud. I'm not experienced enough. I will fall for sure. I will crash for sure, man. Good morning, Master Fortune from Castaway Drip. Yes, JP, wise move. The JP and Eden Adventures. There you go, JP and Eden Adventures, man. JP Eden likes being a back rider. No, a speed bump in the mud. Speed bump in the mud. JP, does Eden shop at Ukay store? Jokano, Captain. Speaking of Ukay, last night, Dazzle actually made a video. It'll be the next video. It won't come out tonight, but I scheduled it for... I always skip the videos now, every other day videos. Dazzle, Liana, and Mom, they went Ukay shopping By they always have kind of like a date day where they do stuff together, the three of them. So yesterday they went to Calibo. They took a jeepney actually and tricycle because they were leaving later on the night already. I think it was like 4:30, and I was like, I try not to drive. I would have taken them. Usually I would take them, and then they'll ride back home to Cabilia. But when it gets dark, man, I don't like driving at nighttime here. And they're like, it's not a problem for them. That's why Dazzle even brought the GoPro, and she made a video. It turned out really well. They went ukay shopping, and then before they went home, they ate at a Japanese restaurant in Calibo. So they had a fun date day for the three of them. That will be the next video. I think you guys will like it. I liked it. I was watching it this morning. Dazzle actually edited it and everything. So she really did a good job. Captain, how do you think she found JP? Vaughn, Eden is very camera shy so far. I did take my GoPro, but on the way home, Eden wished we had recorded some of it just for us. Yeah, see, that's the thing, JP. You can record stuff, just have your YouTube to where it's your souvenir, right? It's your adventures with Eden. You don't have to do YouTube or like us, like be out in the open. You can just like do, for future, that way you have a recording of your things that you're doing now. To me, it's awesome because I can go back 4 years now. I can see Leanna growing up. That's what we did 4 years ago. Our dogs. It's like, for me, that's why I do YouTube. That's why I've kept all the over 1,000 videos now. Joe Cano, JP, I did see you and Eden on Facebook post of Gino's. You and her did good. I know, man. We went to the Hayahay. We went to the Hayahay restaurant in Calibo. That will be in a future video too. I filmed a little bit of a Hayahay. Really nice restaurant in Calibo. All I know, Joe, is he found her on Blue Arrow in the mountains. All right. The current mystery is who is the Colonel. Valentine's Day. Colonel said, soon it will be revealed. I saw that. Yeah. I'm sure it'll come down the road, No pressure, Colonel. If you want to keep your relationship private, Colonel, I can't blame you. Just because, I've mentioned this before. That's why, if you notice, I do a lot of YouTube, just me doing the live stream. I try to include Dazzle, Leanna, and Mom, but Dazzle doesn't really like YouTube. That as far as like, she doesn't like the criticism. Unfortunately, that comes with YouTube. You're gonna get criticized on YouTube. People, there are mean people on YouTube. It's like they've even on live stream before they've like said not nice things to Dazzle, or in the comments, it's like they have said not nice things to Dazzle before. No matter how we try to keep our channel neutral, we try to be polite with everybody, there's just people that are mean sometimes, and that's why I try to keep Dazzle out of all that craziness, because to me, it's like for me, I like YouTube because I'm able to meet people. I have friends, you guys are my friends. You keep track of me, the progress in my life. But for Dazzle, it's not that big a thing. Was a fun day, Gino. Enjoyed days getting up and taking off somewhere basically unplanned. Yeah, those are the best kind, man. It's like random things, unplanned things are always the best. Was very cool also with all the pools. Good day for all of us. I bet, man. I bet it was a good day. I saw Rick. Okay. I can't think of Rick. I saw Rick. Dean Bortel, Gino, Rojas City is known for seafood, I hear. is there a place to buy fresh fish from the fishermen? Do you have any content there? That would be interesting. All right. Rojas City, I do know it's known, it's a seafood capital of the Philippines. But one thing people that don't tell you, if you go to Rojas City, like right there on Bye Bye Beach, where the Canadian Beaver is, a lot of restaurants there. There's seafood prices there. Not all of it is like inexpensive, There's some restaurants there that are like high end, and sometimes I don't know how, why they charge so much. Some of prices there comparable to Boracay Island sometimes. As far as like fishermen, like where you can buy it from the fishermen coming in, you still see that there's actually people that will like have carrying buckets on the beach trying to sell you with a scale. But not all fishermen do that, because a lot of times the fishermen, they're already contracted with someone to the fishing boats coming into Raw City. They're already coming in to they're contracted with a restaurant. They're a restaurant already buying all their catch. So to me, actually, I think, Dean, like from what I've experienced, even here in Numancia, Aklan, in Makato, we have fishermen here. You can actually get the same price, if not better price than the catch in Rojas City. With that seafood capital, that Rojas City has earned, I actually think the restaurants in Rojas City charge you more for seafood. You might get like a good price at the seafood market, a public market in Rojas City, but a lot of times those public market, it's not the cleanest of places. It's congested, very congested. Not a lot of parking. If you go there with your vehicle, Iloilo actually fixed their issue with their public market, because Iloilo had the problem before, but now they have a modern looking building, parking to very clean, but looks hygienic. It's like they've done that. But again, with a new building, more modern, the prices probably will be a little more, because the rent for the people selling their goods. I have found places like, remember when we had the resto bar in Malay, that one in front of our resto bar, they were selling seafood there. A lot of times, and that's where you can buy cheaper seafood here in the Philippines anyway. Instead of buying at the public market, usually it's at roadside stalls. Like on the National Highway here in Numancia. In the afternoon, about 5 p.m. usually, all of a sudden there's people selling seafood. And a lot of times it's just a table, like a bamboo hut roof, coolers. They're bringing out coolers, styrofoam coolers with fresh seafood and shrimp, squid, fish, you name it. And they're selling it by the kilo. That's where you're going to get the best price for seafood here. If you go to the public market, you got to remember, in the public market, they're paying rent. Depending on the position of the seafood seller, if they're in front, if you're in their good spot, their rent is high. They have to pay rent, so they have to increase the price that they sell your seafood. Just in my opinion, just because Rojas City got the name seafood capital of the Philippines, to me, they don't sell the cheapest seafood in Panay Island. Just my observation. Rock and Jazz have a good YouTube. Yeah, I saw them. I've seen a few of their videos actually. Rock and Jazz. Young guy, right? He's 40 years old. His girlfriend's still going to college. So I've seen a couple of their videos. Good people, I can tell they're good people. Colonel Fortune, LOL. The Colonel's Chronicles continues. JP, the Colonel's secret recipe: finding a province Filipina. Yeah, so to me, Colonel, like I said, don't feel pressured that you have to introduce, bring your Filipina into the fray, because you will, Once you bring in your Filipino in your YouTube channel, there could be drama with that, man. So if you want to keep your relationship private, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes, I promise not to embarrass her. Filipinas need the perfect photo op before being revealed. Yeah, so if she's already not comfortable about being on YouTube, I wouldn't pressure her, Colonel. Colonel is trying to keep up the suspense, just like, who shot JR? Who shot JR? I'm just happy you met someone, Colonel. That's the main thing, right? It's like I'm happy when people find a possible love, a possible partner in life, a possible spouse, sometimes wife. I'm just happy when they find that here, because I know if Colonel had stayed in Thailand or went back to the U.S., it's hard to meet that. It's hard to meet like genuine people and genuine love. The Colonel mysteries. Does she do TikTok, Colonel? Probably not. If she's shy, Captain Ron, probably not. Not everybody does TikTok. And to me, if anything, that would be kind of like a red flag. If you're wanting a traditional province girl and she does TikTok, that's kind of like might have to watch out for that one. Dean Bortels, good to know, good to know. All right, good, Dean. Yeah, I just think, just because Rojas City has gotten the name seafood capital of the Philippines, and I know businesses in Rojas City, I think they've used that name, right? They've used that because to me, the seafood in Rojas City, the seafood in Boracay, the seafood in Calibo Public Market is the same prawn, it's the same lobster, it's the same fish. So to me, it's not like, do they have better fish there? Do they have better tuna there? Yellowfin tuna, jack tuna? I mean, do they have a better crab? It's like, and like I said, because of their reputation now as being the seafood capital, the prices, I think has gone up. The price has gone up because people go to Rojas City for that, thinking that, oh, they have the best seafood in the Philippines. But to me, man, shrimp is shrimp, prawn is prawn, lobster is lobster. It's like, what makes one lobster better than the other lobster? It's like, it's the cooking. It's the cooking. I would, so far to say, I would look for places that are known for cooking. Like I know Bacolod City, I know Iloilo City, they're known for good cooking here in the Philippines. Pampanga is known for good cooking here. San Fernando, Pampanga. I would go to those places because it's not the actual seafood that's good, it's the cooking of the seafood. I didn't want a TikTok girl for sure. Right, JP? That would be a red flag. I wouldn't want, it's like JP is looking for a conservative province girl in the mountains, If she's doing TikTok in the mountains, I don't think that's going to work. Young Fresh, I agree. My girl has no social media that posts. She has, but she doesn't post. Definitely a red flag if our girl is posting pics to get likes from other men. Whenever she wants to post anything, she asks me. Yeah, right? Right? If somebody's doing TikTok, that's attracting men. If it's a single female, it's attracting men. She's going to be communicating with a lot of men. So to me, is that really somebody, if you're looking long term, like a traditional Filipina, I don't think that's a good idea. That would be a red flag for me. This is random, but I love bangus, but I wish I can buy it boneless. Oh, you can. There's boneless bangus, where they open it. They open the bangus. It looks like a fillet, and I can buy boneless bangus at the grocery. There's companies now here in the Philippines that sell that. So all you do is either grill it. You can grill it, like barbecue grill it, or fry it. There are boneless bangus, not likely for. Oh yeah, you can also, like at the public market, if you want freshly made bangus that's deboned, they have it at the public market too. Because if the demand is there, people will sell it. Someone looking for attention on TikTok would be hard to tell if she actually like you or only want to be with you for the attention and views. Yes. Fortune. All right, but Dimitris. Hi, friend. All right. Lowell. Hey, Lowell. Kumusta? Oh, good, I'm good. Mabuti ako, Lowell. God bless. God bless, my brother. No worries. Sorry, no worries. Been at the doctors all that. I know the feeling, man. I was at the doctors yesterday. I saw my ENT doctor yesterday. That's why Dazzle and them, they decided to just take a public transportation because they knew I was tired. Because here in the Philippines, when you have an appointment here, it works different than an appointment in the US. If they say your appointment is at 11, that just means that maybe the doctor shows up at 11, and you're not the only one that has a 11 o'clock appointment. Like for me, the doctor actually did show up till 12, so he decided to eat lunch first, which is okay. They're doctors, they're busy, man. So I already waited there for an hour, and I wasn't the first patient. Like I said, everybody waiting for the doctor, everybody is supposed to show up there at 11. It's like they have a list. They come up with a list to who gets seen first or not. And I had to wait my turn. So I was there a couple of hours at the ENT doctor, which is no big deal. I'm used to it. I wanted to get checked. I got me some steroid eardrops for my left ear because I still got something going on with my left ear. Fortune, good AM, Lowell. Okay, let me see here. The bangus Eden bought. Okay, so Eden made that bangsilog for you, JP. Frozen and smoked. The smoke tasted great, but the smell was a little overpowering. I cleared out by morning, but I am getting an electric burner for outside today. Yeah. That's the trick. JP. Like when Dazzle and Mom, they like to cook dried fish. We always have dried fish. Let me see here. I know they got dried fish here. Like this thing right here, this dried fish, JP. I mean, this thing smells, and even the dried fish, it smells, man. And when they fry it, man, forget it, man. And when they fry it, it's like, whew, man. So they don't fry it inside the house. I have a butane. I have a single burner with a butane tank. They fry it outside, so it doesn't stink up the house. Because when they cook it in the house, man, the smell lasts. Even if you open the windows here, man, it stays for a while. So good ideas that you electric burner to cook it outside of your condo or your apartment. Are there any places Dazzle mentioned that she wants to travel to, whether inside or outside the Philippines? I made it clear to my Filipino we are likely never going to America. Mostly will be the only place Dazzle really wants to go. I know she wants to go to Korea, South Korea, because they love Korean drama and all that. Really, Dazzle's not big about traveling because she hates to fly. She doesn't enjoy flying at all. A lot of times we have to take the ferry in the Philippines to go to a different island here in the Philippines, to go to Negros Island, to go to Luzon. We don't fly. We take the ferry. So, and forget about a trip to the United States on the airplane. It's like Dazzle's just not she hates. We've flown before and absolutely hated it. We flew to Singapore back in 2018, and she said she'll never do that again. Good AM, Lowell from Fortune. And now it's not really a big deal anymore for me, Young Fresh, because for me, if I never have to travel outside of the Philippines, I'm not big on traveling now either. A lot of it because I'm immunocompromised. I can catch diseases easy and they linger. Like right now, I've had this super flu now for a month, and my ear is still messed up. So for me, if I travel outside the Philippines, man, I can be exposed to like diseases that my body hasn't seen, and I might catch something. So I'm not eager to travel anymore, because of that. I don't want to get sick, man. If I have to stay here in Panay Island the rest of my life, I'm fine with that, man. It's like there's enough for me to do here. I've seen enough of the world. I was in the military for 20 years. I traveled all over the world. When I was 45, when I retired there, I hit all the countries in Southeast Asia. Most of the Philippines I traveled, except Mindanao. I've never been to Mindanao. So to me, like I said, if I never travel again outside Panay Island, I'm perfectly content. There's enough for me to stay busy here, to do things here. Boracay, it's like I don't need to visit other beaches in the Philippines. I've seen other beaches in the Philippines. Boracay's the best. I've never seen a better beach than Boracay. Good AM, Lowell from Fortune. JP, hello, Lowell. You are not late. It's morning here. That's right. Joe Cano. Hey, Lowell. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, I was just chatting with Lowell. We were discussing some things. He's trying to work it, trying to come up with a budget, trying to make it to see if it's doable for him to come to the Philippines. I'm glad he's doing that. I'm glad that he's focused on making sure he has enough money to come here. Making sure he's got the medical issue covered because, some people don't even think that. Some people just go on a plane and come here, and then all of a sudden, all kinds of problems arise. But I'm glad Lowell is doing his research. You know what would be a game changer in the medical field, in the PH? If they can have doctors meet you remotely. For example, my doc in New York, I can book online with him at NYU. You know what, Young Fresh? I actually watched a video and I did a little bit of research. There's actually a lot of consulting going on now. A lot of doctors and nurses, specifically Filipino doctors and nurses, because of telemedicine. A lot of them are moving out of the United States and coming back to the Philippines because they can now live in the Philippines and do telemedicine. They got all their credentials in the US and they're doing work here in the Philippines now. I'm sure they still have to go back to the US for credentialing and all that, but more and more doctors and nurses, experienced nurses that's been in the nursing field, nurse practitioners, consultants, the older nurses in the United States, they're realizing because of telemedicine, they can do their work here in the Philippines, and a lot of them are doing that, man. So for me, what you're saying, if your doctor can do telemedicine, I don't see a problem. It would have to be, you would have to research that with your doctor, maybe something to do with your insurance. But like I said, that's a big industry that's developing here in the Philippines. The more experienced doctors and the more experienced Filipino doctors and Filipino nurses, they're coming back home to the Philippines and running their practice here in the Philippines, being consultants online and doing telemedicine. Because one thing about nurses, and I worked in the medical field, they're not all created equal. Not all nurses are in the same level. There are certain nurses, specifically a nurse anesthesiologist or a nurse that works in surgery. Their knowledge is up there, man. It's like a hospital in the United States paying them so much money to remain a nurse anesthesiologist or a surgery nurse has to pay him a lot of money in the U.S. to keep him in their hospital. If that nurse decides to work telemedicine in the U.S., those hospitals will still pay them. And a lot of nurses are finding out they don't only have they can not only work for one hospital, they can work for several hospitals because they've got the experience. So another kind of like economic thing that's happening, it's like the Filipino doctors and nurses, they're finding out that once they get all that experience, especially if you work at John Hopkins, if you work at the Mayo Clinic, you come back to the Philippines. Not only can you work telemedicine, but you can also be helped here in the Philippines, So they're not trapped anymore of working in the U.S. And JP Calibo, thanks, brother, Young Fresh. Lowell, hello, Fortune, JP and Joe. God bless, God bless everyone. Do you have what is called dirty kitchen? I plan on having one. When we do build our house in Katiklan, we bought land in Katiklan. I want a dirty kitchen. I don't want the kitchen inside my house. Once we're gonna build like a 1-bedroom home, tiny home, and we'll have a dirty kitchen. Built it outside. I prefer having a dirty kitchen because the cooking and all that doesn't have to smell inside the house. Plus, it's cool. I think dirty kitchens are cool, man. My girl just told me what that was, and I think it's cool to have. I think so too, right? And it's so easy to build. It's so easy to build a dirty kitchen. It's basically a roof over something. It's like you can have a grill. You can incorporate a charcoal grill in your dirty kitchen. To me, it's awesome. Man. It's awesome to have. I plan on having a dirty kitchen when we build our house in Katiklan. Does dry fish smell like Thai fish sauce? I would say equal or even stinkier. It's like if the dried fish gets fried, man, that smell just like stays, man. It stays forever, man. I can tolerate Thai fish sauce, like in a little saucer, used as a dipping sauce. Fried fish, man. I can tell when my neighbors are frying dried fish. I can walk outside. Oh, somebody's cooking dried fish. If I'm walking around doing my filming in the morning, somebody's having dried fish for breakfast. I'll go with you in South Korea one day, Gino. We can stay at Camp Humphreys at the Dragon. I've never been to Camp Humphreys or Dragon Hill. I've been to Itaewon. I was stationed at Suwon Air Base in Suwon City. I've been to Osan Air Base. It's been a while though. That was back in 1987 was when I was in Korea. I did visit Korea. When did I visit? I think year 2000, right before 9/11, because I was stationed in Japan. So I said, hey, I catch a hop to Korea just to see Korea. I was able to visit it again, but have not been to Korea now since early 2000. So 25 years. And I've known from looking at everything in Korea, it exploded. Their economy just like from the 1980s to 2000 to now. It's like the Seoul and everything become very modern in South Korea. Karen, James and Karen, we are working our way through the visa process. We plan to spend half the year in the U.S. Just got a sponsor. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, James. And to me, James, I have mentioned this before. That is the ideal situation. If you can afford, and I know people that do it, if you can afford to live half the year in the U.S., a lot of times it's like the summer months in the U.S., and then winter time in the U.S. usually is a hard place to live. Spend it here in the Philippines for 6 months. To me, that's ideal because you're getting to enjoy both cultures. Because you're American, James. You're gonna miss part life in the U.S. The longer you stay here, the longer you're gonna miss certain things that the Philippines just don't have. Just don't have that America has. So that's always been, if you can afford having a house, and I have friends, right now, my friend in Pennsylvania, he's in Pennsylvania, he splits his time, Pennsylvania and Cebu, so to me, that's ideal, that's it. And then your medical care, maintain your medical care in the United States, especially for people with Medicare. Ruben still goes back to San Diego. He used, he has, they have a house in San Diego. It's a family house, and Ruben maintains a room in that house with his sisters and relatives. So that's why Ruben can go back to San Diego, get medical stuff done, and then but spend more time here in Calibo. That's ideal, man. That's ideal. You know, we give up a lot. Like for me, I know I gave up a lot, but just living here in the Philippines. I've made it like 15 years. It hasn't been an issue, but I know there's a lot of things that mostly like I miss the food. The food is I know I can eat Mexican food here in the Philippines, but nothing like food truck Mexican food in the US. You know, there's certain things that, you know, like me, I gave up steak. I don't eat steak here because I know it will be only a disappointment to eat steak here because steak is so good in the United States. There's certain things, but overall now though, if I spend the rest of my life here in Aklan province, I'm fine with it because I don't like the flying anymore, the traveling. You know, it's like I don't enjoy that anymore. Boracay is number one. Yes, right? That's why for me, that's my happy place on earth, Boracay. I know people say it's a touristy and all that. To me, I'm now almost 60 years old, and to me, Boracay is number one. Everywhere I lived anywhere in the world, I'm never more happy when I'm in Boracay Island. La Casa Española has an outdoor area to dry laundry with a shelf and electric outlet for the camp. Yeah, you know, each apartment has an area for you to when you wash your clothes, you can hang and dry it. It actually, it's secure. Nobody can steal your clothes, but it gets dry. Your clothes can get dry, kind of like air dry. Some of it actually gets some sun. So actually there's certain apartments actually get some sun. Because here in the Philippines, a dryer, like electric dryer, gas dryer, not common. Most of us, like me, you know, we have a washer, but we hang our clothes to dry. That's just pretty normal. Most people I know do it that way. Most people here hang their clothes to dry because to take advantage of the sun, man. It's like right now, man. It's like beautiful sun, man. Blue skies, the sun is shining, man. It's awesome, man. The sun is bright. Oh, at least now it's that, but you can see, man, it's like the sun is so bright. I don't want to go out there because I don't want to lose you guys on the connection. Every time I show you the sun, it's like it starts doing this, man. I lose connection. Joe Cano, something else I want to talk to you about, James, when I get there. When I marry a Filipina, I would like to take her to the US at least once to meet my family. Oh yeah, that should be no problem, yeah, Joe. YFGT, dirty. Oh yeah, Young Fresh. Yeah, I just called him Young Fresh. Young Fresh. Dirty kitchen is a common in Pinoy households. Cook outside so it would be smelly inside, but also have a nice kitchen outside. Yeah, a nice kitchen outside, and a lot of times put like a nice long table, maybe a table and benches, you know, so you can eat. You can eat outdoors. You know, it's like, to me, it's like that's the plan. That's the next build. Message me. Ironically, a spousal visa is easier. Oh yeah, a spousal visa is a lot easier. Tourist visa is like you know, hardly anybody gets approved for a tourist visa, James. The spousal visa is easier, but takes time. It takes time because your application has to go to USCIS in the US. Then they have to send you. You have to go to the embassy, appointment at the embassy, medical in Manila. It's a process. It's a process. Joe Canoe, I tried to talk my ex into letting me build an outside kitchen to do the cooking and canning in the summer and fall to keep the heat out of the house. Yeah, here is so easy to do, man. And they make the it doesn't even cost much to build a dirty kitchen here because it's basically just building a roof over it and then everything gets cement built here so they last. So you basically create a sink, a cooking area, even a grill, like a barbecue grill, and then tile it. That way, if it rains or it gets wet, it's easily wiped down. Very easy to build a dirty kitchen here. Fortune, my mother-in-law was a young nurse in the Mayo Clinic back in the 60s. Oh, wow. All right. I have a friend. She stopped work. She was at the Mayo Clinic. She stopped, she's Filipina. She stopped working now at the Mayo Clinic. She started her own company. Like I said, man, the experienced the experienced nurses, experienced doctors, they are finding out now that they can go out of the hospital and create their own business as consultants because of their knowledge, and you could do that now away from the United States. You can have all your licensing in the United States, maintain a home in the United States, and live, live here in the Philippines, stay here longer in the Philippines and do the telemedicine and make a lot of money. Man, they're making a lot of money doing it. That's the one good thing. I think the internet, that the working online, that really has exploded now. The possibility are endless. And one thing I know about doctors and nurses, AI ain't never going to replace them. It's like, I don't think however smart AI gets, we're always going to need doctors and nurses. Went home and my father-in-law married her. Oh, that's awesome. Good story. Good story, Fortune. I wish they were called outdoor kitchens, not dirty kitchens. Oh, yeah, right? Kind of like dirty ice cream. It's called dirty ice cream, but they're delicious, right? Right, JP? It's like, I prefer dirty ice cream sold in the street rather than like the package at 7-Eleven. They taste much better. They're homemade ice cream. They could call it like a outdoor ice cream, but they call it dirty ice cream. So it kind of turns off some expats. But they're amazing. And for Americans, the dirty kitchen is the outside barbecue pit, right? The outside barbecue pit. Or, like the gas grill, right? That you flip open and cook. That's a dirty kitchen. Well, they are, JP, like dirty ice cream, It's not dirty, it's sorbetes, local ice cream, homemade ice cream here. Jokano, sounds like your father-in-law was smart to grab her. Young Fresh, yes, you are 10,000% right. So many websites now, you can just pay a fee like $25 online and you just tell them your symptoms and they connect you with a doctor over video and get your prescription, right? It's like everything's so easy. Everything's so easy now. And you can do that anywhere you are. You don't have to be in the United States to and probably more and more will do that. I think more and more people are realizing, man, I don't have to live here in America where it's expensive. I can move to a cheaper country but still make the same amount of money almost. That's like, man, that's a win, man. That's a win. Technology is getting amazing. Don't even have to go doctor, just get your prescription online. Yes, mother-in-law was the prettiest among the 6 sisters. My father-in-law was like 8 or 9 years older, a lawyer. He retired as chief prosecutor, provincial fiscal, province of Cavite. Wow. All right. I agree with you on the flying. That's why I told my girl, we will go to Iloilo twice. Boracay, come on. Boracay, it's paradise, right? Right, and here, the traveling here, like I've mentioned before, Young Fresh, the domestic travel, it is just difficult, man. Especially if you can't find a direct flight from Caticlan or Calibo, if you have to go to Cebu first, you have to go to Manila first, and then go to your destination, man, it's just like, domestic travel is, because we're so spread out, small airports, very crowded airports, chaos in the smaller airports. Not fun, not fun to travel domestic here. Is it easy to connect a hot water tank in the bathroom? I want to get that for my girlfriend so she has hot water, but do you think I need to hire? Over here, yeah, Fresh, there really isn't like a plumber, like a licensed plumber. Usually it's somebody that's kind of like a jack of all trades. They're pretty easy to install. Like, I know what you're talking about. The portable unit just to heat up the water in the shower. It's not going to be not like a hot water tank in the US where everything in the house is hot water. Here is just a small unit. You can buy it like for 10,000 pesos, around $200 at the Wilcon Depot, Ace Hardware. And somebody can set it up in the bathroom, have a plug connected, make an outlet, connects an outlet, and then run it. Not expensive. Man, I can, if I wanted one installed in my house right now, I can probably hire somebody and the person might charge me $40 at the most, $40 to install it, Very cheap labor here, especially in the province. Anything I get repaired in the house, man, doesn't cost me like 500 pesos, $9 to like have anything repaired. That's why I'm not a do-it-yourself kind of guy, because to me, I can just hire somebody for $9 to do it. It's like, I have not had dirty ice cream yet, but yeah, JP, there's one guy that Dazzle likes dirty ice cream Calibo. I'll take a picture of him and send you a picture, because they're not all created equal, JP, the dirty ice cream, because they're homemade. It's whoever sells it usually is his own creation. So there's one guy that Dazzle really likes the dirty ice cream in Calibo. Even here in Numancia, there's only one lady that we like dirty ice cream from her. Because sometimes it's not... they're all different. One avocado dirty ice cream from one vendor to another vendor is different because they make it different, So you have to find your favorite. Do you have actual costs to use for the grilling a dirty kitchen? I love grill. That's easy, man. When I talk about building a grill, all it's gonna be, man, it's like a cement structure where the bottom is cement. You can put the charcoal in there, and you can, like, the grill, the actual grill, the metal grill, you can build it in the cement. You can pretty much design anything that you want. Heck, you can even have a smoker built in. Like, if you want one of those smoker, kind of like in a drum, have a smoker, you can build that with your dirty kitchen. There's nothing you cannot build here, because one thing Filipinos are good at is customizing and building for your specification. You can design it, show it to a guy here. Oh, I can do that. They can do it. They can do it for you. And very inexpensive, man. You can be creative as you want to be. What's up, Gino? Sorry, I'm late today. No worry, Kevin Shores. They do have coal they make and sell for barbecue, but also many use wood. Yeah, many use wood, any type of wood. You can buy the American style charcoal if you want that, but a lot of times they have what's called uling. Uling is like kind of like locally made charcoal. They sell it here in Aklan province for 20 pesos a bag. So about 35 cents or 30 cents a bag. You can just get several bags of that charcoal. Very inexpensive. People still cook here with wood. I know many houses here that don't cook with propane tanks or electric like we do. There's people in Katiglan where Dazzle lives. They have a dirty kitchen and they cook wood. Like at James and Karen, they can cook in a dirty kitchen using wood, but they also have a gas range. So just different ways, People here in the province still do a lot of things like the way they did it, like many years ago. You know, a lot of traditions haven't gone away, or they've kept the tradition here. Yeah, whatever you want to get built, Young Fresh, they can build it here. One thing Filipinos are really good at is customization. Design it and show it to a guy, they'll build it for you here. And they'll build it correct. They'll build it with cement, metal. They'll build it with like drum, like for a barbecue. I mean, all connected. However you want to design it, man, they'll build it. Young Fresh, you could make some money opening up a smoked barbecue place there. I know becoming popular in Iloilo City. I think Rojas City, I think has Texas style barbecue place, smokehouse. Of course, you want to build it to where there's a lot of expats. That would be a problem if you build it here in Calibo. I don't think we have the amount of expats, and I don't know if Filipinos would pay that much money for smoked barbecue. The sorbetes, if you have a party, you can order a standard can. Yeah, we did that. Fortune, for Liana's birthday in Caticlan, the sorbetes can, we ordered one for her birthday in Caticlan last year. During my mother-in-law's wake last March, I got a sorbetes guy in the wake for 4,000, 3 flavors, 100 servings. I would think even cheaper in Panay. It was it's cheaper here, of course. I appreciate your live stream, Gino. Approaching 2.5 hours today. I always learn something here. All right, Skating Gears, I'm glad. I'm gonna end it here soon. I'm trying to get through the comments, but thank you for the kind words, my friend. And that's what I'm trying to do. Just trying to have information that will be of value. I've never tried dirty ice cream before. Oh, you'll love it, man. Kevin, you'll love it. My favorite is avocado flavored dirty ice cream, man. That is the best ice cream, man. That's amazing. Just design and they would make it. I love that so much. When I'm ready, I'm going to hit you up for some. Definitely. Whatever you need, Young Fresh. I know people, I know enough people now. I know people that can build, can do things here in Aklan province. All right. Thank you, Young Fresh. Okay, about to go. Clean up, CPAP machine. All right. Take care. All right. I've gone over by 2 hours. Usually I try to do 2 hours, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining the live stream this morning. I appreciate everyone's time, and everyone stay blessed. Stay blessed.